What's up everybody, Rebel here and welcome to Rebel Ranks, and for today's episode I'll be ranking the inverted themes in Crash 4. And I hear ya, Rebel, the inverted themes are just padding. Yes, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm still gonna rank them though.
Darn you, Crash Bandicoot!
The inverted themes in Crash 4. What at first seemed like an awesome addition, but now has many feeling it's nothing more than filler. And while there are indeed a couple inverted themes that I genuinely love, I do understand where people are coming from. The inverted themes are essentially mirror mode, flipping the levels horizontally while also adding some sort of visual effect. And on some of the levels that are somewhat tiresome, having to play them again with a lackluster coding just isn't fun. However, there are a couple of inverted themes that also alter the gameplay, and these really do stand out. Actually, remember to do that. That's It is a shame that more than half of these inverted themes don't do anything to affect the gameplay. But honestly, that's what separates the worst from the best. So without further ado, the worst inverted theme in Crash 4. Number 10, Bermuda Orbit's weird green tint. Yes, from where I ranked this dimension on overall theme, the inverted theme is truly in stark contrast. It's just a weird greenish tint with, what, possibly cell shading? The aliens here will sometimes have dialogue boxes that pop up over them, and that's literally it. Yes, if I thought inverted themes like this were the only ones in the game, I would be calling it padding too. This inverted theme is pretty embarrassing when compared to some of the others in this game. I mean, this doesn't even really have anything to do with the level theme. While ranking these, it was clear that this one was going to be at the very bottom of the list. Number 9, Painting the World in Salty Wharf. And I know a lot of people actually really like this inverted theme, and I did it first too. The world is all black and white, and when you spin or break a box, paint flies all over, coloring the world. And I really do get why this seems cool, but hear me out. This dimension is normally colored, and colored normally. Now it's black and white, until you spin, where once again, it's colored normally. Like, am I the only one who really sees this? It starts black and white, boring. Then you slowly turn it back to normal. I'm sorry, but I'm ranking these based on how cool and unique these are. And this ain't it, Chief. Number 8, Ben-Day dots in the 11th dimension. And in case you didn't know, the style of coloring used in comics around the 60s and 70s was Ben-Day dotting, created by a guy named Charles Knight. And in this dimension, well, I've heard it hurts people's eyes. Not surprising. When you defeat an enemy or destroy a box, a Batman-style boom, wham animation or sound effect happens. It's cute and all, but it is a little visually unpleasant. Also, the dots aren't part of the background. They're just superimposed over the whole screen. And when you notice it, it just seems super lazy. So while this may seem like a cool and creative inverted theme at first, it does quickly become rather annoying. It does kind of hurt the eyes, and the fact that the dots are just stuck where they are is pretty lazy. Number 7, Tranquility Falls and the slight cell shading, less saturation, pink? I'm not entirely sure, but it's supposed to mimic Japanese style art, an inverted theme that really does match the Dimensions theme, and it looks quite beautiful. Sometimes. If there isn't anything that'll pop with pink, it does look pretty bland. But all in all, it doesn't look bad. Like the first 3 inverted themes we went through, it looks nice. And I guess some of the instruments in the music use some Japanese instruments. I guess that's cool. This theme is just there. It isn't bad enough for me to be mad and call it padding, but it isn't anywhere close to good enough for me to at least not silently think it's padding. Number 6, the neon outlined hazardous wastes. And this inverted theme is okay, I guess. It kind of fits. Engine is a rocker. The neon lights are kind of rocker-ish. Yeah, I don't know. But these stages look pretty cool. Everything has a neon border to it, and the geometry of the objects shows up as well. The stage will dim when you haven't broken a checkpoint in a little. Crash's spin sounds overdrived. It's actually not too bad. It's just not that good either. Nothing that alters the gameplay, which is common in this game, but still a disappointment nonetheless. Yeah, there really isn't much else for me to say about this theme. It looks cool for a little. Yeah. Honestly, after going through these bottom 5 inverted themes, I have to say it probably would have been a better choice for them to have just used the next 5 inverted themes for 2 dimensions each, and not even have used any of these. That would have been a better choice. And now coming in at number 5, starting where I actually kind of like the inverted themes. Number 5, crayon coloring in the Agapis dimension. And I have heard people say that they just don't like the art style at all, and I can respect that. Personally, there's just something about the crayon style coloring that is just visually pleasing to me. I know there isn't anything gameplay wise that changes here, and the music doesn't even change, but I don't know. I just really like this art style, so this inverted theme bugs me less than all of the other non-gameplay altering themes. I guess getting to this point, it really is just personal preference as to which bland, same gameplay filter that you prefer. And to me, Agapis Dimension is where it is solely because I think it looks neat. And at number 4, finally barely starting to alter the gameplay. I mean, that's arguable. It really doesn't do much to change it, but I still gotta give it a bunch of credit for trying. Number 4, Retro Gaming and Cortex Castle, which is just a really pixelated filter. But there is a score meter that actually works. It just doesn't have any function at all. Some of the sound effects and music have been 8-biticized, and that's about it. So yeah, I guess it technically doesn't do anything to the gameplay, but the score counter is cool. And being that this dimension is themed after the final stages in Crash 1 from 1996, the retro theme actually fits with this dimension's theme itself, and in a way that's actually a cool nod at early gaming in general. And I really do understand people who don't like this theme. I mean, it's just really pixelated, and that doesn't seem like it would be that hard to do. And it doesn't look great. But I mean, come on, they did add a score counter, and that's more than any of those other inverted themes even came close to doing. And now we reach the top 3, the good inverted themes. The only ones that actually made me say, yes, yes, whatever you're doing, please keep doing it for the love of God. Number 3, Ragtime and Mosquito Marsh. And yes, finally, the inverted themes that actually affect gameplay. And we're starting off with an increased speed boost. All gameplay in this dimension has been increased to 1.25, or everything just moves faster. Enemies, platforms, Crash and Coco, and it's pretty awesome. There are some places where it doesn't affect you too much, and then parts where, like the food barge and no dilly-dallying, that are more difficult with the increased speed. But wow, that part in no dillo-dallying is so fun with the speed increase. On top of that, there's an old movie film grain filter, and the music has been ragtimed as well. All in all, it's so much more enjoyable to replay the same level in mirror mode when they actually do something to change the gameplay. Number 2, Underwater in the Snacks Dimension. And yes, I guess preferring the Ragtime inverted theme to this one is an acceptable choice, as speeding up gameplay may make it more challenging, but slowing down the gameplay to 50%, that's cool for its own reason. It is essentially slow-mo, but when mixed with an underwater effect filter, it really does give the impression that the whole planet is submerged in water. There are even a few times where you can see the top of the skybox, and it really does look like you're looking up to the surface of the ocean from the depths beneath. There's also steel drums added to the music, as is common in water stages. I guess the only bad thing here is that slowing down the gameplay by 50% in a level like Rush Hour, which already takes you 15 to 20 minutes to beat, it'll literally take an hour to beat this stage. And that's just ridiculous. But that is also just poor level design, as I have stated that the level would be better if it were broken up into 2 different stages. If the levels were a little shorter, this 50% speed decrease would actually be pretty cool, and I really wouldn't mind to see more of it. On these specific levels, I really think it falls a little short of what is truly possible with this inverted theme. And finally, the best inverted theme in Crash 4. Number 1, echolocation on Insanity Island. Certain objects are a solid color, like boxes being yellow and enemies being red, and everything else is pitch black until you spin, slide, or body slam, as well as a smaller, less powerful blip that happens about every 2 seconds. And yes, I know it seems hard to say that this is the best inverted theme when it's only on 2 levels, but even on those 2 levels, as easy as they are, I can clearly see the possibilities here. Speeding up or slowing down the gameplay is one thing. This actually affects the way you play, or the way you would play. I know it's hard, but imagine applying this inverted theme to levels with complex platforming. Platforming that requires you to jump accurately from small platform to small platform quickly. Now picture doing that while the level is pitch black. Yes, there's the small blip, but that doesn't actually really reveal much. You'd have to seriously alter your gameplay style to incorporate spins and slide for no other reason except revealing more through sonar. And that's something I honestly want to see more of, more than any other inverted theme. Speed increases increases and decreases may alter your reaction, how you time things, but you'd essentially tackle tasks the same way. Forcing you to spin or slide to reveal more of the map will constantly and consistently have you playing differently. And yes, we didn't see the echolocation used to its full extent in this game, so feel free to tell me, echolocation is number 3 at best. Yeah, sure, I completely respect that opinion. And if it only came down to how the inverted theme was executed, then yes, move it down to number 3. But when I think best inverted theme, I think which inverted theme would I be happy with were it applied to every single level in the game as the only inverted theme, and that would be echolocation, hands down. But I'm curious as to what your favorite inverted theme is, and since over half of these were just filler and people really like being negative, go ahead and let me know what your least favorite inverted theme was too. And if you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. Helps YouTube know to spread this video to other Crash lovers out there. Make sure you subscribe for more great content, hit that notification bell, all of that other wonderful, amazing, good stuff. On the docket next, I'm ranking the bosses in Crash 4, and then I think I may have exhausted all of my Crash 4 gameplay, but we'll see. And until next time, peace.